So far on my channel, I've done some Gimmick product testing. Things like the straight golf ball and the hammer driver, the grooveless wedge. Tried all these things to see if there's any truth in them. And sometimes there is and sometimes there's not. Well, I've been sent a wedge today and I can't quite decide at the moment whether this is another Gimmick or whether it is a potential game changer. So if you're a long-time viewer to my channel, you'll know that around the greens and short game isn't my strong point, and I'm always looking at ways to improve that. Now this is a club that intrigued me because it promises to be deadly from 50 yards and in, and that's again where I'm weakest. I've just unboxed it in the car, and this is the wedge, Cutter Golf. I've never heard of this brand before because it only makes this one golf club. It's almost like a starter company. It's $120, so it's not like it's dirt cheap. I'd expect some performance benefits from a wedge that costs that much. It is unbelievably weirdly shaped, like no wedge I've ever seen before. The bottom of the golf club is more narrow, then it goes up into more of a V shape into the top. The neck is more set back. It's a bit ugly, I'll tell you the truth. But what it's designed to do, it's designed this bottom of the club to cut through the grass easier, to make it easier around the green. Well, let's find out if that is the truth. Okay, I'm at the chipping green. I'm going to try it on a few different shots. There is one particular shot that I'm intrigued to know if this is going to work on for me personally. I hate a chip around the green off a tight lie. It's my nemesis. I will always grab a putter if I can. So I'm intrigued to know, is this club going to help me for that shot? Let's find out. I'm going to start off with a bit more of a fluffy lie chip. I'm at the chipping green, like I said, there's no flags at the moment, but be able to work out how close I am to the hole. It's a nice lightweight. It actually feels like a decent club. The finish on it is quite good. The logo at the back is a little bit kind of bold, but it's not too offensive. Let's see what it's like first on a normal fluffy lie chip. Thanks for watching, guys. I think this works. that was a pretty good start. That felt good off the face. Let's see if it continues to impress. I mean, that's 3 shots in and they're all pretty close to the hole. A couple of things after hitting the first few. The grip doesn't feel the best. It feels a little bit kind of cheaper. It's not a named brand. Shaft's all right. Like, it feels just like a normal standard steel shaft. Don't really need probably not much more on a shot like this. Feels good so far. So that last one was the worst one, and that's kind of how far it finished. Not horrendous. You know what I'm intrigued about? Even the shape, can I flick it up? Oh yeah. The face looks massive. It's got 56 degrees aloft, but the face does look massive. It almost, from that angle, looks more like a driver face shape. And then we've got 2 gimmies. They're good, I think. And then 3 pretty close as well. First test, I'm impressed with. Let's try a few more different shots. I did like how the bottom of the golf club did cut through that kind of little fluffy lie. But that's not a bad shot to start off with. Right, because there's no flags in at the moment, I'm going to put my wedge in the hole so we can actually see where it finishes. Yeah, that works. Okay, next shot, I'm going to try it in a bunker. Now, normally I'm pretty good in the bunker because I can just shove the club into the ground behind the ball and it'll pop out. I'll use like a 56 or a 60 degree wedge. I've only got a short bunker shot here, but I don't feel like I need to open up the wedge, and when I do, I actually really don't like the shape of the wedge. So is this club going to help me or hinder me on a shot that I actually quite like? Let's see. Okay, so at the bunker, these four look pretty good. I'd be impressed with those. They all felt good off the face. I hit one medium shot, so that's 5, but you might have known I took 6 balls into that bunker. One of them didn't particularly go to plan. One of them I thinned, it still caught the back edge of the green, but I thinned it out. The one thing I kept looking at when I was looking at that golf club in the sand, it almost looks more like a spade. You know when you got those spades that have like a pointy edge? For whatever reason, it felt to me like I was going to dig that club too much into the ground or into the sand. They're pretty good though. I'm still decent out of bunkers with it. Let's try it on a longer shot next. Let's see how it performs on, like, let's say a 30-yard shot, which again isn't my favourite shot. Hi guys, it's only me, just a quick one. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to hit that like button. And also, make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. Getting close to 1 million subscribers. It's free to do. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Okay, let's get straight back to the video. So 6 shots, 6 different lies from 30 yards, some that are horrible and buried. Let's see how the wedge does from these lies, because apparently again that's where it's strongest, the way it cuts through. Gotta be honest, so far the little chip shots and the bunker shots, it's done well. Can it continue that form? Okay, 6 shots hit from awful lies there in the rough from 30 yards. 5 are on the green, pretty impressive. One of them is 10 yards in front of me. That was the worst lie. I found the club for that one. I don't know whether I just tried to dig into it a bit too much, but it seemed to get a bit more stuck in the ground, and that's not really what I thought this wedge would do. However, the 5 shots, the ones that were all in, again, scrappy little lies. Check these shots out. I'd take those every day. I'd certainly take these kind of front 3 here. They all stop pretty quick out that rough. They got some decent spin on them. 2 that are just slightly long, but nothing I would complain about. The next challenge I've got for it, because it is a 56-degree wedge, can I hit some full shots with it? The more I'm using this, the more I'm liking it. I'm gonna hit some full shots, and we've still got that final test to go, that tight lie, my nemesis, a shot I hate. Is it gonna do any good on that? Let's hit some full shots first. So far I've hit 5 decent ones. What is interesting, come have a look at this. The divot pattern is just ever so slightly different. It is more triangular shaped. I've hit all 5 shots in that pattern. They don't feel quite as squared off or boxed off, and I suppose that is down to the bottom of the golf club shape. 5 decent ones so far. Let's see if we can get this 6th one super close. On a bit short. The last one was short and spun like crazy. It's got me thinking so far, like the shots I've hit have been good. The short shots around the green, the bunker shots, the 30-yard shots, the full shots, they've all done what I've expected, if not slightly better. It's getting me thinking more and more, and I started this video, is it a gimmick or a game changer? I mean, it could potentially be a bit of a game changer. I think the biggest challenge, certainly for me, is something like this, the shape of it. Would I feel as confident putting it in the bag? I'm not sure yet. Depends how it really does depend how it does on those short shots around the green. Let's go and find out. And I've definitely got to compare it to my wedge as well. So this is the shot in question. The nemesis shot, the tight lie from around the green. I've got to be honest, I absolutely hate this shot. I would, without question, get a putter from here every day, and it's not a bad shot to play, but I would love to be able to chip it. What I find with a traditional wedge is I do what this wedge claims it doesn't do. I find that I dig into the ground too much. I'll thin it, I'll fat it, that leading edge just digs. I don't particularly get the bounce working as well as I should. One trick I have developed over the years, and it's mad that I've been talking about it with this wedge, is that I will put the toe in the ground. I'll use the toe as a way of getting the club not to dig in the ground as much, and that's effective. I quite like that technique. Well, this club, this triangular shaped golf club, the Cutter Wedge, is doing that for me. So we're going to do a very simple test. 3 shots of each. We'll alternate and see which ones get closest. And I'm not going to cheat it with this wedge. I'm not going to do it toe up like I would do normally. I'm going to play it flat on the ground like I should do. Let's go with traditional wedge first. The hole's just a few feet on the green. You won't quite be able to make it out, but let's see how I get on from this nemesis shot. Makes my knees knock a shot like this. Well, that was all right. It grabbed a bit, but it was okay for the first shot. Okay, Cutter Wedge. It's giving me confidence. I've tested it so far in the review. I like that, how the bottom of the club kind of goes down into the ground. Let's see what it's like on this shot. So far, 1-0 to the Cutter Wedge. Let's go round 2. Oh. It's not bad for the third shot with a traditional wedge. So far, it's 1-1 in the little challenge. The second shot with both wedges was poor. Ended up catching them a bit too thin. This is it. Can the Cutter Wedge take it on this final shot? No, it didn't. I still managed to thin it. It's an interesting wedge. I talked about at the start of this video, is it gimmick or game changing? Some part of me feels like it can be game changing. I like the idea of the wedge. Results show there that I'm actually better off with my traditional wedge, which is very interesting. One thing that would definitely make me question a wedge like this is, could I put it in the bag? Would I be able to get past my professional ego and put a wedge like this in the bag? I'm not totally sure I am. Going back to that question, is it gimmick or game changer? I would put it in the bracket of game changer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.